Good evening and thank you for joining us for KREM 2 News at 5. I'm Whitney Ward. Mark is off tonight. Well, we now know who will lead the two remaining Pac-12 teams after last week's big shakeup in the crumbling conference. KREM 2's Shannon Mowdy has more now on a historic announcement. Shannon?
The Pac-12 will make history appointing Teresa Gould to replace Commissioner George Kliavkoff on March 1st. She will become the first woman to ever lead a Power 5 conference. In the latest shakeup for the Pac-12, the conference announced Friday it's mutually parting ways with Commissioner George Kliavkoff. His ouster becomes official February 29th. He'll be succeeded by Deputy Commissioner Teresa Gould.
Currently, I oversee sport management for 22 of our 24 sports.
In this Pac-12 Network's profile from December 2022, Gould was praised by Commissioner Kliavkoff for her work in a male-dominated industry. Gould says that drive started with her first job with ESPN. She's also worked at UC Berkeley, UC Davis, and joined the Pac-12 in 2018.
I think, we were one of the first conferences in the country to have female decision makers sitting at the table.
Oregon State and Washington State, the two remaining Pac-12 schools after this current season, are reacting. WSU President Kirk Schulz tweeted, "Gould's deep knowledge of collegiate athletics and unwavering commitment makes her uniquely qualified to guide the conference in a period of unprecedented change." OSU President Jayathi Murthy also praised Gould's experience, saying she's confident Gould will advance efforts to secure a bright future for OSU athletics.
My aspiration was to always work in sports. I never had a desire to do anything else.
Gould says she's looking forward to finding solutions to preserve opportunities for student athletes at OSU and WSU and setting up the conference for long-term success. In more conference realignment news, a Washington State Senate committee is expected to hear from representatives from WSU and the University of Washington Wednesday on the future of both schools' athletics programs. We're expecting to hear about the timeline of the Pac-12 and litigation, plus a high-level look at both schools' athletics budgets. Now, OSU and WSU have entered a football scheduling partnership with the Mountain West Conference and an affiliate agreement with the West Coast Conference for all other sports except baseball. Shannon Mowdy, KREM 2 News.
Shannon, thank you. And this comes after an historic day for WSU men's basketball. For the first time in 16 years, the Cougs are ranked in the AP Top 25, following 7 consecutive conference wins and wins in 10 of their last 11 games. The Cougs check in at number 21 right now in this week's poll. That follows double-digit victories over Cal and Stanford. It marks the first milestone on a road to reaching the NCAA tournament for the first time in 16 years and the first time in head coach Kyle Smith's career. The Cougs are now 20-6 on the season. They'll play for first place in the Pac-12 on Thursday in Tucson against number 4 Arizona. All right, time to talk weather. Rain absolutely returning to the inland Northwest. Temperatures, though, starting to warm up a little bit. So let's get to our chief meteorologist, Jeremy Legoo.
Well, when it comes to our warming temperatures, today's just kind of the start. It gets warmer, Whitney. Trust me. 37 degrees right now, but by tomorrow we're back in the 40s and we stay there right through the weekend. It is going to be that kind of nice, and it all starts with rain. Rain, and a lot of rain because of a storm sitting off the coast. Now, we talk about this type of storm often, and we've been talking about it a lot this year because overall it is a very, very El Nino type weather pattern. So for us, it brings more moisture, but also it's the same type of storm that's just kind of difficult to predict where it goes and what we get out of it. So we know that today it's raining. We know that tomorrow without any big movements, it still does the same thing. It throws waves of energy at us and along with it some moisture. I don't think tomorrow's showers are as heavy or as widespread as today's, but I do think we wind up seeing some on and off rain through the first half of the day and a few scattered or isolated showers during the second half of the day. Up in the mountains, that's snow, but you got to go up over 3,700 feet or close to 4,000 feet to find the snow because it is that kind of warm. By Wednesday, it looks like we start drying out. A lot of forecast models keep us much drier. However, with the storm still in proximity to the west coast, it is likely we see a few scattered showers. Then I think the pattern breaks, and I think we wind up seeing a little bit of sunshine, and I think Thursday winds up much drier. And look at those temps. Tomorrow, 44. Wednesday, 45. Thursday, 46. And we don't drop below freezing. That means a whole lot of melting snow in the days to come.
You mean warmer and sunshine? It's
Yes.
like hitting the jackpot. Jeremy, thanks. Idaho officials going to the state Supreme Court now to see if they can ban gender-affirming treatments for minors. It is an emergency request made Friday by the Attorney General. A law signed by Governor Brad Little last year makes it a felony for doctors to give any medical treatment to transgender minors. A U.S. district court temporarily blocked that law from taking effect last year, and then an appeals court upheld that ruling. So now the state wants the Supreme Court to overturn the decision. More than 20 states now have laws that ban gender-affirming care for minors. We are tracking a developing story out of North Idaho tonight. Look at that. A fire broke out in Kamiah last night between Main Street and Hill Street. That was at the roadside bar and grill. And you can see just how big the flames really did get. We know that there is heavy damage to the building. We're working to get additional information for you tonight. New from over the weekend, a woman was killed in a shooting in Northeast Spokane. Police say on Friday a man met up with a group of teenagers to try and get back some stolen property. At some point, they say the teens drove off in a car and then fired several shots. Police were chasing them and pulled them over. In the car, they said they found a woman with a gunshot wound to the head. Right now, police not yet saying who shot her. The woman was taken to the hospital where she died. 4 of those teens are in custody tonight, all of them facing several charges, including attempted robbery, conspiracy to commit robbery, and assault. And they could also face additional charges.